When I was on Renaissance Woman's channel recently, an interesting subject came up. We were talking about out of pocket women, how they could be mean, rude, disrespectful, argumentative, combative, the whole works. And what I added to that, and the responses were very interesting. I added to that a man cannot compromise. When a man compromises, it tells the woman that she can control him. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of great guys, genuinely nice guys, and it's very funny because I'm going to talk about how women have practically admitted this, what I'm about to say. But a lot of nice guys, just genuinely good guys, have dealt with out of pocket women and they don't understand why. They can't explain why women are so disrespectful and why they treat them bad. And because these guys are not bad guys, they can't figure out why they get treated bad. And the example I gave is, let's just say the man in the relationship knows what's best. He understands how the money works. He's thinking a month ahead on the bills. He knows that this little extra $300 that they got, that they can't spend it because he has to wait till his check next week to put that with the $300 he has to pay a certain amount of bills. So he has to explain to the woman that, look, you got gas in your car, it's food in the refrigerator, we got to be broke for a week. Now she throws a fit and a temper tantrum and starts complaining because she wants that money. You mean to tell me you got $300 sitting there and I can't spend it? She gets upset. She gets out of pocket. She starts arguing with him. Now, this man, because he's a great guy, because he really loves this woman, because he just wants to see a smile on her face, even though he knows this isn't best for the greater good, he doesn't like to see her upset. He don't like to see her frowning. He likes to see her happy. So he gives in and lets her win the argument. And she gets to use that $300 that they needed for bill money a week later. He lets her use that money to essentially just go shopping and just have petty cash in her pocket throughout the week. And he just has to figure the shit out later as far as what's going to happen with the bills. Now, you would think a woman in that situation would look at that and say, wow, this guy, even though he had a good idea, a better plan, a better feeling of what should go on, and he's pretty smart and he knows how to, manage money and pay bills, but he didn't want to see me with a frown on my face, so he did something that was not the best decision for the greater good, because the greater good for him was seeing me happy. Even if it's just temporarily, he wanted to see me happy. So he did something that potentially made no sense at all just to put a smile on my face. Now, you would think a woman would see that and be like, wow, this guy really loves me. But no. What she's thinking right there is, dang, I just punked this nigga. I just made him bend. I'm going to keep making him bend. I'm going to keep making him bend until he breaks. And then that's where that argumentative and combativeness can come from. If she's just not one of those women who just naturally just born that way, just mad at the world and taking it out on whoever loves her. Some of them operate like that, but some of them, it can be checked and corrected and mitigated and kept at bay. But when the guy bends and compromises, it causes a situation where she's going to push even more because she knows she can control you. She knows she can bend you. She can manipulate you. She knows that she doesn't have to listen. Now, here's the deal. When Obsidian was going in on this, and he was all the way to the point of saying, if she's getting mad and she's yelling at him and she's fussing at him, and these women that call a guy a bitch ass nigga and all this stuff, when Obsidian was talking about that, and then the response from Taz and Renaissance Woman is, well, he must be a bitch ass nigga if he letting her. And then Renaissance Woman basically said that, and she said this on another stream. And it's funny because Nyla said this. Nyla said that was a little tongue tying. Irene, Yvette, and I think most people would agree that Nyla, Irene, Renaissance Women, those are pretty much good women. All of them on different live streams at one point or another have admitted if they're not with a guy who can control them, who got the authority to make them sit down and shut the fuck up and say it with authority and mean it and make her question what's going to happen if she don't, they're going to walk all over them. You know, Renaissance women saying, hey, that's a noodle back. That's a, if see a sucker, lick them. You know, they've admitted that. Good women have admitted that if a guy don't got the authority, if he don't got what I call, if he don't got his metaphorical pimp hand strong, if his metaphorical pimp hand ain't strong to the point to where she's thinking this motherfucker might slap the shit out of me, let me sit down somewhere and just do what he say. They're basically saying that if a guy does not have that in him, that they're going to walk all over him. They've admitted that. They've all admitted that. And this isn't taking shots at them because we're talking about something that has something to do with how a lot of women operate. And the whole thing where they say you can't handle a strong black woman, that's sort of what they're talking about. I'm not taking shots at these women. I'm just pointing out that where that whole you can't handle a strong black woman thing comes from, it comes from the fact that a lot of them know that they're going to get out of pocket from time to time. They're going to get out of control from time to time. And if a man does not know how to control that, how if he doesn't got the borderline toxic masculinity to put them in check, to make them sit down somewhere, they're going to run amok. And one thing that the good guys, the nice guys, the guys who just fall in love real fast and genuinely love women they don't have that rah 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 aggression that a woman need a man to have. They don't have that. And they're not bad people. They're genuinely good people, great guys. They down for the long-term game. They will marry you, love you, be a great father, raise the kids, and all of that. But they committed the crime of being too nice. Therefore, they're going to have to deal with attitudey, bitchy women. And the response is always, well, I need to quit picking them ratchet hood rats. No. These are non-ratchet women who have admitted it. Who have admitted that that's what happened. They have admitted that that's what they do. That's how it tends to work. Now, it's levels to it. Some women get more out of pocket. Some women need more aggression from that man to make her sit down and shut up. But at the end of the day, a lot of good women, since the Black Manosphere, have forced a real conversation. Shout out to Obsidian, because he always says that it's forced a real conversation for women to actually come to the table and speak the truth about how they really think, feel, and operate. That yeah, they've admitted that it's a certain type of men, great guys, that they just don't have a certain amount of respect for. And what came up in the conversation, this is one of the last things I'll say, because this is a very important distinction. The type of guy who gets disrespect is like, if it was the Jody from Baby Boy types, if it was the hobosexual, the bum ass, not worth a damn dude who caught the disrespect, I wouldn't have a whole lot to say about it. But these guys are hard-working men a lot of times that's doing the shit that a man is supposed to do. So if there was some type of tangible, visible, measurable meritocracy of respect distribution between black men and black women, I'd be good with that. I'd be good with them admitting that no, these type of, show me a man without a job, who not taking care of his kids, who ain't worth a damn. I end up with a man like that. Oh yeah, he gonna get called a bitch ass nigga, a whole ass motherfucker. I'm gonna be talking all kind of shit about him. I'm gonna be unplugging the Xbox while he playing it. Slapping blunts out his hand and stomping on him, all kind of shit, just completely out of pocket. If they tell me that guy is getting talked down to and treated like shit, I ain't got too much argument with them. But when women have admitted that it's genuinely good guys getting treated like that because their metaphorical pimp hand ain't strong enough, and so we're going to just be out of pocket if he don't know how to put us back in pocket, like that's a problem. Like that's one of the major problems in relationships between black men and black women. And I'm sure this happens with other races, but I don't think we can pretend like the percentages aren't higher with black people when it comes to this type of fuckery, for lack of a better way to describe it. I wanted to use a different word. Didn't want to just borrow Obsidian's word, but I couldn't think of another one at the time. But that's pretty much what I want to say on that. Is I'll close it out right here. Hopefully, I can close it out in 30 more seconds. There are some women who are just absolutely positively out of pocket, can't be fixed. You can't deal with them. You see them coming, or once you realize the woman you're dealing with is operating like that, run. Go the other way. Go the other way. But then there are some that will test the water of getting out of pocket. But if you don't let them trouble the waters, if you don't let, if you keep those waters nice and steady, she'll get in line. And that's why they like to always say, well, if you're doing the right thing and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're masculine and you're blah, 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 then the woman will fall right in line. That's true for some. But they try to smuggle in all the completely just out of pocket fuckery, the ones that just came off the assembly line missing some screws. They try to smuggle all them in under the table too. No, 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 no. They can't smuggle those ones in. But there are some that you can deal with if you manage the situation the right way. But if managing it the right way still ain't working, you got to run. You got to go. That's all I got on this one.